Good morning, my dear students. I welcome you to the online English classes. After a short break of your exam, hope you all did well during the exams. Let's continue our studies. Today I am going to start a new chapter from your book Beehive. That is chapter 7. And the name of the chapter is Packing, written by Jerome K. Jerome. This chapter is really funny and wonderful chapter. And you all enjoyed this chapter. What's the meaning of packing? Packing means the act putting things in container for travel or storage. That is packing. Now this whole chapter is related to packing. Actually, this chapter packing is taken from extract Three Men in a Boat. That chapter you know very well. In class 8 we studied about this chapter. Now introduction of the poet. Jerome K. Jerome, born on 2nd May 1859, United Kingdom, died 14 June 1927, United Kingdom. Jerome K. Jerome is a British writer of the Victorian period and best known for his comic novels. He begins his writing career in 1885. Three Men in a Boat was poorly received by critics. It became immensely popular among readers of all social classes. Now, introduction of the chapter. What is packing? Here, packing is an appropriate title for this extract from the novel Three Men in a Boat. It forms one of the chapters of the novel. Three men are Jerome, George and Harris. They have to go on a pleasure boat journey and have a pack for it. All three of them think they are past master in the art of packing. But all they end up creating is an utter mess. They are disorganized, unplanned, foolish, careless, and unsystematic and cannot properly pack of things. And obviously they blame each other for being poor at packing. This chapter packing help you to understand the story in a simplified form. This story is about three friends Jerome, Harris and George. Thus it begins with them starting the most important thing of a journey, packing. Now let's start the chapter. I said I had pack. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things there are. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cooked his legs on the table. Now, first you see the word meanings. What the meaning of pride myself? That means am proud of. Feel into, that means here, accepted. Uncanny, that means strange. Cocked his legs, that means bent the legs on the knees as he sat. Entirely, that means completely. Impressed, that means put an effect. Now here, Jerome thought that his ability to pack luggage was better than others. Who is Jerome? Jerome is a narrator. He asked his friend George and Harris to leave the task of packing to him. That Jerome is perfect in packing and he can do all the packing. The two friends agreed to his offer instantly, which was strange. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his leg as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. Now see what happened. This was hardly what intended, what I had meant. Of course was that should boss the job and that Harris and George should potter about under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, "Oh, you, here let me do it." There you are simple enough, really teaching them. As you might say, they are taking it in the way. They did irritated me. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. Now, what's the meaning of intendant? That means planned. Potter about, do some unimportant things. Boss, that means supervise. Direction, that is instructions. Now here the narrator, by saying that he would pack, the writer didn't mean that his friends would sit and relaxed while he would do all the work. He had meant that he would boss upon them while they would do all the chores. He would nag them and curse them for not knowing the work well, and then he would chip into shots out of the messes that he would create. He was irritated to see them sitting while he did all the work. It's natural if someone is doing work and two of friends are sitting, it really very irritated. Now I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa and watch me doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good and look on at me messing about. Now I am not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and superintendent and walk around with my hands in my pocket and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. Now here, what's the meaning of loll on the sofa? That means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner, or to say or sit in a relaxed way, messing about to waste time during doing something without a particular purpose. Sit still, that means sit without doing anything. Superintendent, that means supervise or to manage. Slaving, that means working like a slave. Energetic nature, that means powerful or strong temper. Now here he recollect that once he lived with a man who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer all the work. The man would say that he enjoyed watching him go around doing all the work. This would make the writer mad with anger. Who is the writer? Jerome. That means Jerome feel mad and with full of anger. Now Jerome add that he could not sit idle and work like slaves. On the other hand, he liked to check their work, walk around, his hand in his pocket, and direct them how to do work properly. He feels that as he was energetic, it was a part of his nature to behave in that manner. That means he want to supervise. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be. But I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. "Ain't you going to put the boots in?" said Harris. And I looked around and found I had forgotten them. That's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped off, of course, and George laughed. One of those irritating, senseless laugh of this. They do make me so wild. Now here, what's the meaning of strapped it? That means closed it. Wild, that means uncivilized. Now here, the writer did not say anything to his friend and started packing. As he closed it, Harris says that he had forgotten to pack the boots. Now here the writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag. But he thought that Harris was like that. That was followed by an irritating laughter by George, which made Jerome wild with anger. When Harris laughed, that time Jerome felt too much anger. I opened the bag and packed the boots in, and then just as I am going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. Haunt means to repeatedly giving trouble. Misery, that means sad. Hunt means search. Now here Jerome opened the bag to keep the boot in it, in that bag. As he was about to close it, when he wanted to close the bag, that time he was struck by a strange thought that he had kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remember if he has packed the toothbrush or not. My toothbrush is a thing that haunt me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. I dream that I haven't packed it and wake up in a cold precipitations and get out of a bed and hunt for it. And in the morning I pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again and get it, and it is always the last thing I turn out of the bag, and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it is the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. Now here Jerome add that while traveling he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. He has nightmares of not having pocket it. Wake up in sweat and look for it. In the morning he pack it before using it. Then unpack the bag to get the brush and use it. As it is the last thing that comes out of the bag, and he has repacked the bag, and he forgets packing it again at the last moment. He rushes to his room to get the brush, and finally he wraps it in his handkerchief and carries it into the railway station in his hand. Of course, I have to turn every mortal things out now, and of course, I could not find it. I remained the thing up into the much the same state that they must have been before the world was created. And when Charles resigned, of course, I found George and Harry's 18 times over, but I couldn't find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside the boot. I repacked once more. Now here, what's the meaning of mortal things? That means every ordinary things. Ramaged, that means search in a hurried or careless way. Chaos, that means confusion. Now here, as Jerome was looking for his toothbrush in his bag, he had to remove everything, but he couldn't find it. He created a maze. He found his friend brushes many times, but couldn't find his brush. He kept everything back into the bag one by one by shaking each item, and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again he repacked the bag. Now, what happened in the next, how they are doing the packing, we see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.